Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is Vigorelli Institute, and I am here with one of my absolutely favorite shows, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Oh yes. See, I'm an actual fan of Star Trek, back from when it was good. Anyway, let's get into this thing, shall we? Now, I am planning on doing a couple of character dives on this, which, there's, characters in here. I can see them being real people. They have personalities. They do things. And in this show, the stuff they do actually matters. Okay? Their personalities don't change and then reset, like in some other properties that I'm not going to name right now. So we'll worry about that later. Anyway, so it takes place out on a military space station that orbits around the planet Bajor. Now, Bajor is out kind of in the middle of nowhere, and the Bajorans are, well, they're inspired by Jews, Armenians, Tibetans, Rwandans, okay, basically any people where another group has come in, beat them up, and occupied and taken their stuff, while also trying to destroy, their entire culture, way of life, religion even, etc. Okay? So, based on that, now this also heavily follows a species called the Cardassians. Not to be confused with the Kardashians, totally different animal. Okay? They're gray, they've got a spoon-looking thing on their forehead, and they look like snakes. Anyway, these guys are patterned after, the Third Reich, Romans. Although Romulans are much more patterned after Romans in a very obvious way. They're also a little bit more patterned after the Ottomans as well, in the way they behave. Okay? Although the Dominion's a little bit more like the Ottomans, but we'll get to that. So, they have recently left Bajor because of, well, they realized it was too expensive to maintain, and basically they stripped it bare, so So now Bajor is kind of on their own, I think, city-state, and they're having to build themselves up basically from scratch. Well, the Federation comes in because they're the good guys, and they say, hey, we'd love to help you, in exchange maybe one day you can join the Federation. We'll get to that. So, they dispatch a guy by the name of Commander Sisko. Now, Sisko, he is black. By the way, this was produced mid-90s. Yeah. So, that whole first thing that Hollywood is so big on nowadays? Eat it. Anyway. He comes in and he sets up shop, helps out the provisional government. He's kind of a military advisor, overseer for Bajor itself. Now, his second in command is an attaché from the Bajoran military. Her name is Colonel Kira. Okay. Her first name is Nerys, but it's kind of like it is in China and Japan, where the family name is first and then the individual name is second. So it's Kira Nerys, whereas if she was, say, English or American or Italian, it would be Nerys Kira. Moving on. Bunch of species on here. We got a Trill named Jadzia Dax, played by the very, very alluring Farrell? Doesn't have her. Bugger. Anyway, Smoking Hot. Huge crush on her when I was a kid. before I knew what a crush was. Woof. She was fun, my kind of girl. And so many other just fantastic personalities. So if you ever get the chance to watch it, I highly recommend it. The first season drags a little bit at the very least for 3 or 4 episodes. But once you get into it, it builds, and it builds fast. If you can make it through season 1 into season 2, you're hooked. Okay? Watched it so many times. I've back when it was on and premiering naturally. My dad said, "We're going out to the desert to do stuff." Oh boy, was I mad. Oh, I was so mad. I wanted to watch my show. I didn't talk to him for a week. So I missed it. Now I own it. Anyway, I highly recommend it. It does actually build on the lore rather than subvert and replace like Destiny. Okay. It builds on the lore established originally by Series 1 with Kirk, and then expanded on with Next Generation and the cartoon that immediately followed Series 1. It is also heavily embedded in the Star Trek Online game, which, I don't care what you say, as far as I'm concerned, is canon. So there. It's beautiful. I highly recommend it. If I could get all of the stories in a fashion where it all plays out well, regardless, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Star Trek Discovery is fan fiction with money on it, and I will die on that hill. And no, I don't care about any kind of multiverse crap. It's a stupid trope, and it's overdone. It was fine in DC. We're done with it. No more. It's fan fiction. Now, next video, I think what I'll do is I'll pick a character. I need to dive in a little bit more. I've pretty much got them all down, but I'm going to dive in with a character and kind of pull them apart a little bit. A little bit different from what Certifiably In-Game has done, which I love the channel. Check him out, and we will go from there. All right? So, you take care. Bye-bye.